If you are wondering which Void Hunter is the best, Miyabi,
I can help you ward off
Yixuan,
I'll give you a
or
hand.
shunguang, I hope this video will help you. First, we need to understand these units. For Miyabi, unlike other anomaly units, don't focus on anomaly mastery or proficiency. Instead, you want to focus on attack, crit rate, and crit damage. Only against enemies which are affected with ice fire, which is what Miyabi inflicts on as an enemy when she attacks it with her normal basic attacks. She gets anomaly build-up rate increase that scales off her crit rate. It scales up to 80% of her crit rate, so have at least 80% crit rate in battle, not on stat screen, because anomaly build-up will make her able to inflict anomaly faster, which means more fallen frost stacks and more damage. Use Miyabi until she inflicts anomaly frostbite and frostburn on them, then inflict anomaly slash disorder on the same enemies using other units who can inflict anomaly at a fast rate. Then switch back to Miyabi and repeat. Note that Miyabi inflicts Frost Anomaly, which is different from Ice Anomaly, and these two anomalies together can inflict disorder. For Miyabi, you want to get Fallen Frost stacks as fast as possible and as much as possible until you have 6 of them. Then hold basic attack to make her use a level 3 charged basic attack. Then repeat. As for Fallen Frost stacks, she gets 3 of them when she uses her ultimate, 2 of them when she uses her EX special skill, 2 of them when any teammate, including Miyabi herself, inflicts disorder on an enemy. This only happens if her team skill slash additional ability is active. One of them when she triggers a Frostburn break, which is basically inflicting anomaly on an enemy who has ice fire, and one of them when she lands a hit with her 5th attack in her normal basic attack combo, only if she is mindscape 2 and above. For Yixuan, focus on HP, crit rate, and crit damage. After using her ultimate that doesn't require disciples, endless talisman suppression, make sure to use these 2 skills. The first one is called basic attack auric array, and you use it by holding the dodge button. It consumes an auric ink point. The second move you can only use if you have Yixuan at mindscape 2 or above. It is called the EX special attack endless talisman suppression break, and you use it by pressing the special skill button after she does the third attack of her EX special skill combo, or you press the basic attack button after she finishes her EX special attack Cloud Saber skill. This skill uses a condensed ink stack. Yixuan gets a condensed ink stack and auric ink point when she uses the ultimate that doesn't require disciples, which is endless talisman suppression, and she can't stack them, so after every non-disciple ultimate, make sure to use these 2 moves before you use endless talisman suppression ultimate again. For Yixuan, you want to gain and consume adrenaline as efficient as possible, and what I mean by that is using her EX special skill when enemies are about to attack to block their attack and gain some adrenaline back, and using her EX special attack Cloud Saber on stunned enemies because it deals more damage to stunned enemies. And use adrenaline as soon as possible, because when adrenaline is consumed, she gains technique points, and when she has max technique points, she will be able to use her ultimate that doesn't require any disciples, which is endless talisman suppression. For adrenaline, she gains 10 of them when she blocks an attack with her EX skill, 10 adrenaline when she inflicts anomaly on enemies, 5 adrenaline when she perfect dodges an enemy's attack, 20 adrenaline over a duration of 10 seconds when teammates use their ultimate, only if her team skill slash additional ability is active, 5 adrenaline when she does a perfect assist, only if her team skill slash additional ability is active, 21 adrenaline over the duration of 3 seconds when she uses basic attack auric array, which is the move that consumes auric ink point, 5 adrenaline when teammates hit an enemy, only if she is at mindscape 1 and above. For Shunguang, focus on attack, crit rate, and crit damage. The classic trio. You want to get teaming sword force stacks as soon as possible and as much as possible until you have 6 of them. Then get into enlightened state. Use basic attack until she does the big slash, which is basic attack enlightened mind Thunderlight maximum. Use her special skill to make her fly again. And once again, use the basic attack until you reach the big slash, which is Thunderlight maximum. Then hold her special skill until she uses special attack Enlightened Mind, Soaring Lights, and she does her finisher, which is special attack Enlightened Mind, Return to Dust. And repeat. Unlike Miyabi, she has a bar displayed under her stacks that when it gets full, 1 seeming stack is acquired. About Xingming Sword Force stacks, she gains 1 stack when she uses her EX special skill, 3 stacks when a teammate activates Ether Wheel, only if her team skill / additional ability is activated. 6 stacks when she uses her ultimate. She also fills up that seeming stack bar when she uses some attacks like basic attacks and dodge counter attacks. All of them have wide attacks. For Miyabi, it's her basic attack 3 and ultimate. For Yixuan, it's her 2 ultimates. And for shunguang, it's a big sword slash and her ultimate. Miyabi's mindscape 1 makes her do more damage in her charged basic attacks and buffs the team's anomaly build-up rate, which means a faster anomaly application, which means faster disorders, more Miyabi stacks, and more basic attacks, aka more damage in general. Miyabi's mindscape 2 buffs her normal basic attack, not the charged one, and her dodge counter. It also makes her gain 1 stack of fallen frost when she hits an enemy with the 5th attack of her normal basic attack combo. It increases her crit rate by 15%, which makes her easier to build, and makes her have 6 stacks of fallen frost at the start of the battle, which means she can use her charged 3 basic attack immediately. And from experience, I can tell you it will help you in farming stages. With her, I only spend 7 seconds in disc farming stages. Yixuan's mindscape 1 increases her crit rate by 10%, which makes her easier to build. It makes her have a full technique point bar at the start of the battle, which means she can immediately use her ultimate at the start of the battle. The ultimate that doesn't require disciples. It makes her able to deal damage and gain additional adrenaline, which is basically like energy for her when she is off field. More adrenaline gained means you can spend more adrenaline, which means more technique points gained, which means you can use her ultimate faster, the one that doesn't require disciples, which means more damage. Yixuan's mindscape 2 makes her ultimate and X special attacks ignore 15% of enemies' ether resistance. It makes her ultimate that requires the disciples prolong the stun window of enemies. So if they are stunned and you use the ultimate that requires decibels, they will be stunned for 3 seconds longer. It also makes Yixuan gain a new move. That new move deals a lot of damage, but she can only do that move after she uses the ultimate that doesn't require decibels. And she can't use that move multiple times without doing the ultimate that doesn't require decibels. So when you do the ultimate that doesn't require decibels, remember to do that new move. Because if you don't use it and you end up using the ultimate that doesn't require decibels again, you will still have only 1 stack of that new move. You can use that skill by pressing the skill button after the third EX skill in the EX skill combo, or by pressing the basic attack button after Yixuan finishes her charged basic attack. Ye Shunguang's mindscape 1 gives her 6 seeming stacks, which means she can get into her enlightened state at the start of the battle. It also makes her able to deal more damage and ignore 20% of enemy's defense at all times, in and outside of enlightened state. Yixuan's mindscape 2 allows her to be able to have 6 bearer stacks instead of 3, which makes her be able to get into her enlightened state back to back if she gets enough seeming stacks. I explained her mindscape 1 and 2 in details in another video. I will leave a link to it in the description below. It increases her combination stacks from 1 to 9, which makes her able to use her EX skill for a longer time, which means more damage. It also makes every seeming stack consumed while she is in her enlightened state get converted into 1 culmination stack, which means even more combination stacks, which means that her skill will even deal more damage. It makes her skill and ultimate while she is in the enlightened state ignore 40% of enemy's defense. Miyabi's signature W engine gives her crit rate, crit damage, and ice damage increase. From what I heard, when Miyabi first arrived in the game, the 4-star W engine were much worse than her signature W engine. Take note that for some of these W engines, the only way to acquire them is from the paid battle pass. As for the other W engines, you can either get them from gacha or by crafting them. There are also some A-rank W engines that you can only get them from limited time events, and if these events aren't available anymore, you can't get these W engines. Yixuan's W engine gives her HP, crit rate, Ether damage bonus, and Ether Seer damage bonus. As for A-rank Rhapsody W engines, this one gives attack, crit damage, and EX special skill damage increase. This one gives HP and sheer force. This one gives HP, damage bonus, and crit rate. This one gives HP, fire damage increase, and crit rate. Also take note that some of the buffs are conditional and some of the buffs are general. Ye Shunguang's signature W engine gives her crit damage, ignore physical resistance of enemies, damage bonus, and more crit damage. As for A and B rank attack W engines, this one gives attack and ultimate damage increase. This one gives attack and more attack. This one gives attack, more attack, and EX special skill damage increase. This one gives a crit rate and attack. This one gives attack, physical damage bonus, and energy regen. This one gives attack and physical damage bonus. This one gives energy regen, electric damage bonus, and does attack increase. This one gives crit rate and attack. As for which W engines is the best for them, after the old signature W engine, I presume ones which have similar advanced stat and they give the same buffs in their passive as their signature W engines. As for drive discs, disc 6 is attack, and some people use anomaly mastery. I never tried it. I don't know if it's better than attack. From what I heard, no. Disc 5 ice damage bonus. Some people use penetration ratio or attack. She already has attack on disc 6, that's why I use ice damage bonus. As for why I don't use penetration ratio, her mindscape one gives her ignore defense for her charged basic attack, which is basically her strongest attack. And more importantly, I don't have a good penetration ratio disc of this set. For disc 4 I use crit damage because I have her at mindscape 2 and it gives her 15% crit rate. Other people use crit rate as main stat instead of crit damage or attack. As for drive disc set, the 4 piece is her best one, which is Branch and Blade Song. It gives her crit damage and crit rate. As for the 2 piece, some people use Woodpecker Electro because it gives 8% crit rate. Other people use Buffer Electro, which gives 8% penetration ratio, and the Polar Metal, which gives her 10% ice damage. Personally, I use the Woodpecker Electro because for the 8% from this one, the 12% from the 4 piece effect of Blade, Branch and Blade. The substats on these discs and the crit rate from her mindscape 2 allows her to have 100% crit rate when she gets all of these buffs. She currently has 73 plus 15 from her mindscape 2, that's 88, and plus 12% from this 4B set, so you will have exactly 100 crit rate. So if you have her at mindscape 2, make sure her crit rate is 73, definitely no less or no more. I guess you can make her have more than 73 crit rate on the screen if you can't trigger the 12% crit rate buff a lot. For Yixuan, I use HB disc on slot 6. Some people use attack for some reason. It's not recommended, and some people use anomaly mastery for some reason. I know a percentage of her attack gets converted into sheer force, but a much larger percentage of her HP gets converted into sheer force. So don't focus on attack, focus on HP. Disc 5 is Ether damage bonus. Some people use HP and some people use attack. Like I said, I don't recommend attack at all, and definitely don't use penetration ratio, because sheer damage, which is basically what Rapsar units like Yixuan deal, ignores defense, so penetration ratio is useless basically on her. Just like Miyabi, I use Ether damage bonus instead of HP because I did have HP at disc 6. As for disc 4, I use crit damage. Some people use crit rate if they don't have enough crit rate or HP. As for drive disc sets, the 4-piece one is her best in slot, which gives her HP at 12% crit rate and sheer damage bonus. As for the 2-piece, some people use Branch and Blade for the 16 crit damage, like me. Some people use crit rate for 8%, and some people use Chaotic Metal for the Ether damage. Her signature W engine gives her 20% crit rate, and the 4-piece from her the 4-piece effect from her best in slot set gives her 12% crit rate, that's 32. Her mindscape one gives her 10% crit rate, that's 42. She currently has a 60.2% crit rate. Add the 42% crit rate from her mindscape one, the drive disc set, and signature W engine, she will have 100 crit rate. As for Ye Shunguang, I use attack percent on the disc on slot 6. Some people use HB for some reason, or impact for some reason. She is a damage dealer, so use attack. She benefits from attack. As for disc 5, I use physical damage bonus. Some people use attack or penetration ratio. As for which one of these are best for her, I made videos about that. I will leave them in the description below, but TLDR, if she is Mindscape 2, physical damage bonus is better than attack or penetration ratio. As for if she is Mindscape 0 or 1, I don't know, but from what I heard, at Mindscape 0 or 1, penetration ratio is better than physical damage bonus and attack. I'm not sure about this one, but I'm sure that Mindscape 2 physical damage bonus is better, because I did a lot of tests with that. As for disc 4, I use attack. Some people use crit damage, crit rate, if they don't have enough crit rate or attack. And the reason I'm using attack instead of crit damage is because the substats of my attack disc are better than the one with crit damage. Because with this disc right here, I have her at exactly 100 crit rate, because if you don't know, she gets 50% crit rate from her 4-piece effect, from the 4-piece effect of her best disc set, and from her core skill. So if I equip the crit damage one, I will have 48.2% crit rate on the stat screen, which means with all of the buffs, she will have 98.2 crit rate. And you would be surprised how much crits she will miss, and how much damage loss that is from having her have 100% crit rate, because she does a lot of attacks, and these attacks will miss a crit even if it has 1.8% chance of missing. I speak from experience. That's why I'm using attack, and once I get a crit damage disc that gives me the amount of crit rate I want, I will use it. A good crit damage disc. As for the drive disc sets, the 4-piece is her best in slot, which gives her physical damage bonus, 20% crit rate, and 10% attack. As for the 2-piece set, some people use Prince and Blade Song, which is what I do, as other people use Buffer Electro, which gives her penetration ratio, but like I said, mine is Mindscape 2, so penetration ratio isn't as useful as crit damage. I don't know about Mindscape 1 or 0. Some people use Woodpecker Electro, and a fun fact, at first I was using Woodpecker Electro, but I had an overflow of crit rate, so I switched it to Branch and Blade Song. You can use Fanged Metal because the 2-piece gives physical damage. If I had great discs of this set, I would have used it instead of Branch and Blade Song. Before you build them, make sure to upgrade their core skill to max, because some of them give a crit rate, which is important to include in your calculations of how much crit rate do they need to reach 100% crit rate. Because I made the mistake of not upgrading Yixuan core skill, so I was missing out on 9.6% crit rate, and like I said, I farmed Woodpecker Electro thinking I needed more crit rate. After I upgraded her core skill, I found out that I had an overflow of crit rate. So remember to upgrade your core skills first, and to include the amount of crit rate they can get from their thanks to W engine, their 4-piece or 2-piece effect of the drive discs, and their mindscapes. If you have M2 Miyabi, you will want to have a 73 crit rate on the stats screen, because she will gain 12% crit rate from the 4-piece effect of her best drive disc set, and 15% crit rate from her Mindscape 2. But if she is Mindscape 1 or 0, you will need 88 crit rate on the stats screen. For Yixuan, she gets 20% of crit rate from her signature W engine, 12% crit rate from her from the 4-piece effect of her best drive disc set, and 10% from her Mindscape 1, which in total is 42. So if you have her at Mindscape 0, you will want to have 70% crit rate instead of 60% on the stat screen. Luckily for shunguang, the crit rate buffs are from her core skill and the 4-piece effect of her best drive disc set. You don't have to pull for Mindscapes or her signature W engine to make her reach 100% crit rate. As for teammates, Miyabi would like teammates who can apply anomaly to enemies at a fast rate, and of course apply disorder at a fast rate as well, like Bernice, Vivian, Yanagi, Yuzuha, I think. Because more anomalies means more disorder, and the more disorder means more frost stacks, which means more charged basic attacks from Miyabi, which means more damage. The only limited S rank anomaly unit I have is Miyabi, and she's also the only built anomaly unit. That's why in difficult end game, she sometimes struggles compared to Yixuan or shunguang. Because for Yixuan, she doesn't really need specific teammates to be able to do more damage. I know Lucia is good for her, but it is because she buffs sheer damage by a lot. And if that's the case, then every Rapture unit will want Lucia, not just Yixuan. And for Ye Shangwang, she wants teammates that can activate Ether Wheel. I think as for now, Zhao, which basically everyone got for free, can do that, and the other one is Lucia, I think. Because Ether Wheel means that Ye Shangwang will get more teaming stacks, and more of these stacks means she will be able to get into her enlightened state faster, which means more damage. She will be able to get into her enlightened stage more often, which means more damage. Or teammates that allow Yu Wang to use her ultimate more often, because using her ultimate she can get into her enlightened state. So more ultimates means more enlightened states, which means more damage. All of them are at Mindscape 2, the signature W engine. I will use them with the best teammates that I have for them. I will test Miyabi, Yixuan, and Wang in free training without using teammates to see how many level 70 Dolahans can they kill in 1 minute. Testing them in shyiu defense or deadly assault is difficult because some bosses have weaknesses and resistances that includes the element of either Miyabi, Yixuan, or Wang. So their performance won't be the same on the same boss. And I can't make each one of them do their tests in separate stages because each stage has its own buffs, and I want to do the tests on equal ground. So I guess the most accurate form of testing is gonna be free training because as far as I know, in free training the enemies don't have any weaknesses or resistances.
Weakling. It's over. Weakling. It's over. I'm unstoppable. Weakling.
Victory, the only option.
It's over.
Obliterate form and spirit. As decreed. What a nuisance. She and mind as one. Let's make this quick. Inadequate. Let's get still. Release. Yin and Yang converge. What a nuisance. Jip.
That's everything I can think of. If I forgot to mention something, tell me in the comments section. I hope this video helped you decide which one of them do you want to go after. It depends on multiple factors like the units you have, which Wild Hunter will benefit the most from your roster, gameplay style you prefer. Do you love inflicting anomaly on enemies or love blocking enemies with your special skill and ignoring defense? Or traditional crit rate damage dealing while moving a lot? Which element or class do you need the most? And which one of them you like appearance or personality wise? From experience, if you care about meta, then go for all of them. And the most importantly, if you can afford it and if you have fun playing them, because at the end of the day, Zenless Zone Zero is a game and you play games for fun. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.